presence I've not felt since.
Back to another episode of Nerds Galore. I'm your host, Star Wars Gazer, joined by my co-host, Jungle Jedi. How are we doing this evening?
Good to see everybody.
Good to see everybody. Shout out to Wrath of Mandalore. He cannot make it tonight. He had a family emergency. Prayers and thoughts to him. Keep him in your thoughts tonight as we go. We are joined by the man himself, the illustrious Mr. Gabe's Empire. How are you doing tonight?
Good. How's it going, guys? Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thanks for being on. This is going to be a lot of fun. I've been looking forward to this conversation for a while. Appreciate you being on here.
Yeah, no, definitely.
This will be fun. Some questions that we like to start off with, just to kind of get things rolling, get the ice broken. We already got Limitless Nerd is in here. What's up, Limitless Nerd? Good to see you. What got you into Star Wars?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's kind of typical, story, growing up with, I grew up with the original trilogy. I think the only one that I got to see in the movie theaters was actually Return of the Jedi. Okay. But I was like I was probably like 2 years old, right? When Return of the Jedi came out. But those are the ones that I grew up with, right? Like just having them on. Even back then, it was before VHS. It was Betamax was still around, and like you'd have to get them on beta. And yeah, I mean, I grew up watching them. I grew up in a Spanish speaking household, so my parents would go rent movies, and there's two options. A lot of times there's some with subtitles, or there are some with dubbed that are from English to Spanish.
Yeah.
And I was always no, I want the ones with the subtitles because I want to know what they sound like, right? So some of my first English speaking, lines or just learning English, I remember it being Star Wars. So yeah, from a young age, I was just obsessed with it. Of course, I started collecting, the Kenner figure. Well, I don't know about collecting per se. I started getting them, right, and started playing with them and stuff. But I had a family member that was always really he was already a collector, and he would teach me about he'd be like, all right, well, when you get a new figure, don't take it out of the box. And I was like, oh, and he's like, if you do take it out of the box, don't move the arms or the legs too much, or else they get really wiggly. So there I am, with a little kid just playing with them, just grabbing them by the by the body. And
everyone's got their people they're playing with them, and he's got his box with his character in it, playing with it.
So early on I was introduced to Star Wars, just as a fan, and then as a collector as well, just because of the Kenner figures.
Heck yeah, that's awesome. Who would you say is your favorite Star Wars character then?
I'd say Tarkin. Tarkin is my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, explain. You're the first person I've ever heard say Tarkin.
Yeah,
so
I got him.
He's got him tattooed on the inside of his arm, bro.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Explain this love of Tarkin. Where does that come from?
Yeah. So early on, what I realized as a kid when I was watching, Star Wars, that Darth Vader wasn't the main bad guy, right? When you watch A New Hope, Tarkin's the main bad guy. He even checks Darth Vader something, right? A couple times, hey,
Vader, release him.
Tarkin's in charge. So early on, I was Tarkin was the boss. He was the best one. But later down the line, I got really into horror films and the old Hammer films and stuff like that. So I became a huge fan of just Peter Cushing and not David Prowse. Oh my God, now I can't remember his name. Christopher Lee, and
I was gonna say Christopher Lee was in a lot of those. Yeah.
Christopher Lee, and then what's his name? Vincent Price. So they were those three were in a lot of those old horror films. And then again, it just tied it together. I was like, oh man, I love Star Wars. I love these horror films. Tarkin was awesome. He was just a badass. Yeah. So Tarkin ended up just, there you go. Yeah.
Peter Cushing. It's the guy who voiced him afterwards.
Who voiced him?
Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
But yeah, I was like, oh shoot, I just
Yeah.
got this.
Yeah. So yeah, it would just happen to be just one of those. And I was always into like the Imperial side of stuff. Like actually, if you look at my helmet wall, most of the helmets, like in the middle part, are Imperial helmets. And that was kind of my focus. I was like, I wanted all the stormtroopers. I wanted, just all the Imperial helmets. So, just kind of, came together like that.
Yeah,
That's so cool. I love that. And I want to get into your story too, how you started collecting. But last question that we like to ask to kind of break the ice.
Yep.
Well, actually, we got two more technically, but
Yeah.
we'll roll with this one starting. Who's your favorite Star Wars? You said favorite Star Wars character is Tarkin.
Mhm.
Okay. So what's your favorite Star Wars show then?
Ooh, like the Disney like the Disney
So
Plus shows.
yeah, so you could
Yeah.
either pick, let's do this. Let's split it up between animation and live action.
Okay.
Just to make it a little more fair, because otherwise it's kind of too hard to choose.
I mean, for me, it's pretty easy. I mean,
Okay.
Andor for me is like that's it, like top tier. Like I absolutely loved it. Like it actually when I watched it, I watched obviously season 1, I loved it. When I watched season 2, again, I grew up on the original trilogy. I was a diehard original trilogy fan. Like I was one of those like toxic geek nerds that were like, George Lucas ruined my childhood by changing them with the special editions. Like I was that guy, right? And even when the prequels came out, I was like, oh my god, this is trash. I was one of those crazy original trilogy guys. And I never thought anything would ever change the way that I view the original trilogy. But then I watched Andor, and then I watched Andor season 2, and then as soon as it was done, I put on Rogue One, kind of skipped around, went, looking around for the Andor scenes, like and then immediately after Rogue One, I put on A New Hope, and it just completely changed the way I see the original trilogy. It's like no longer about the Skywalkers, it's about the rebellion, and it just like something just like clicked in my mind. I was like, oh my god, like it's not about Luke and like Darth Vader. Like it's about the rebellion and about like this whole fight. So yeah, that's
Okay.
Andor number 1
Andor.
That's dope.
Above any animation and everything too, huh?
above any animation.
Okay.
Well, in fact, the animation stuff, like again, I was one of those fans where I was like, nah, I'm not gonna watch it. It's cartoons, this and that. And so I never actually watched Clone Wars or Rebels up until when the pandemic happened and the shutdown. And I was just like, you know what? With my kids here, we're locked in here. Like, let's just watch it. Like, let's just watch Clone Wars. And I watched Clone Wars, and it was just like, oh my God, this is so good. I cannot believe I was missing out on this. It made me appreciate the prequels more. And that was huge because again, I was one of those like, oh, okay, like Revenge of the Sith, that one was good, but I'm okay. Like I didn't really care for the prequels too much. But after watching Clone Wars, it just like I was like, oh my God, Darth Maul, like what? He's such a great character. Even Ahsoka, I was like, Ahsoka's such a great character. You just learn so much about those characters that it made me appreciate the prequels. And so and then I watched Rebels, and which made me appreciate like the Ahsoka show and all that stuff. So I'm glad I did.
Yeah, I mean, too, something that was brought up, we've talked about a lot too, is like when you watch the Clone Wars, that scene where Anakin's in front of them wanting to be master, and they say, we'll grant you a seat, but not rank a master. I mean, if you just watch the movie, it just looks like he's a whiny crybaby.
Yeah.
But when you watch the Clone Wars and you realize he saved Mace Windu's butt multiple times, he saved Yoda's butt multiple times, Obi-Wan's butt multiple times, and they're like, yeah, that's great and all. Thanks for saving our rear ends multiple times, but we're not going to make you a master. Then it makes sense that he's like, what are you talking about? I've saved all y'all, like
there's just so many great episodes in that. So I loved it. And yeah, I mean those are really the only two that I've watched, right? I watched Clone Wars and Rebels, but I never watched what's the other one? The The one that's like more like Japanese animation, almost looking like
Oh, like back in the 2000s.
Resistance.
Resistance,
Right?
yeah.
Resistance, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, I never watched that.
Yeah, I watched it through. It's not like the other. It's
Mm,
not like the others.
Yeah.
It's my least favorite. But I like the way that Rebels acts as like connective tissue between the Clone Wars and the rest of like
Yeah.
Andor, Rogue One, A New Hope.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
like, oh
totally.
wow, like this was all going on, and they were responsible for all of that. Like,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
are you? I'm sure you're familiar with the way that they connected like Erskine, that character within Andor season 2, who's like the guy who is like planted by Luthen to like protect and take care of Mon Mothma.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean he's in Rebels, and he's the one that's like the connection point
And that's the connection.
to the Ghost Crew and because she's trying to put out that message after she's escaped
Yeah.
after Cassian helped her escape,
Yeah.
and they like broadcast from the ghost, It was
Yeah.
wild.
So, obviously your love of Star Wars has began when you were just a kid. I mean, same for me. I was 5 when I saw The Phantom Menace in theaters. It was my first theater experience
Mhm.
ever. So for me, like I love the OT, but I'm a
Mhm.
prequels kid.
Yeah.
And so for you as you grew and you said you had, was it an uncle or a cousin that taught you collecting a little
Mhm.
bit?
Yeah.
Is that kind of what sparked your interest in collecting, or was there something else later down the road that you were like, "Ooh, I want to start collecting these replicas"?
The replica stuff. So I've always just been a collector, just like of anything. I used to collect like coins and dice and just like everything as a kid. But it wasn't until I want to say, because there was a time where I kind of just stopped. Really, it was like in the early 90s. There's really nothing Star Wars related that was coming out. Dark Horse put out, a Dark Empire series. That was about it. Like there's nothing Star Wars. So I really stopped. I didn't collect anything. And then the orange card figures came out, like the Power of the Force ones. And then that kind of re-sparked my interest. And I was like, oh, I got to collect all of them. So I collected all the, the orange backs, like
Yeah.
those. But then again, it started getting out of hand where they're releasing so many different ones. So then I kind of stopped that. And then it wasn't until about 2005 where, well, it was early 2000s, I discovered a company called Master Replicas. And Master Replicas had the license to go into the Lucasfilm archives and kind of just like study the original props and take measurements, pictures, some 3D scanning, but it was really back then there, the technology wasn't quite there. But they started making replicas. And at that point, I mean, they were still expensive, right? Like, I couldn't afford them back then. And it wasn't until about 2005 when my girlfriend at that time, now my wife, she got me a stormtrooper helmet, like a Master Replica stormtrooper helmet. And I was just like, oh my, like for like Christmas, I think it was. And
Dang.
yeah, and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is so cool. And that just kind of sparked it. And then so I started like going on like eBay and like I just even Master Replicas are still around. So, when they were dropping stuff, I would like, if I could afford it, I would, try to get something. And then they lost the license and then EFX Collectibles took over. And my first thing that I ordered from them was the Luke reveal lightsaber. So anyways, so it was around 2005 where I started collecting this stuff. So which is great because I got in there when there's expensive still, but not as expensive as now, right? Like right now, those Master Replicas are like insane amount of money. So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
got there early.
So really, what you're telling me is your wife's fault that you're collecting now.
That's 100%. She complained. She tried to complain, so much about all my collectibles, and I'm like, it's your fault. It's your fault.
If you wouldn't have got me that stormtrooper helmet, we wouldn't be here.
You know who you married. You know how I am. I'm like, I need to collect. I need to complete the set. So
Heck yeah, I love it. What's that journey and that process been like as far as the master replicas, and different things like that on that side, the EFX, because I know there's a lot. Like when I look at it, I want to start collecting some of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Like, I got these helmets behind me. These are all Black Series
The
helmets.
Black Series ones, yeah.
Yeah, which are decent helmets. They're not
Yeah.
bad by any stretch of the imagination. But for someone trying to get into that higher collection sphere,
Yeah.
like take us through kind of that process and what that's like.
Yeah. So I think it's kind of like Pokemon cards or like the vintage figures, right? It's like you either had to collect them when they were like popular at that time, or else you're gonna have to pay like super high, like secondary market prices now, right?
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. So with these lightsabers, like the Master Replica lightsabers, I would find them like on on eBay, or like another collector would be like, hey, I'm getting rid of this, like, and I would find them for like $300, $400. Now they're like $3,000, right? Like on eBay. So like, there's no, I probably wouldn't be collecting these if I hadn't gotten in like super early. But there's a lot of alternatives right now. With the lightsabers, EFX Collectibles still has the license. They still exist, and they're still putting out replicas, and they still have the license. They still go to the archives, and they're some of their lightsabers, you could get them for about they're like $600 when they first come out, right? If they don't sell out, but you got to jump on it before, obviously before they sell out, because they're all limited edition, or else the secondary market's gonna like hit you hard. So if you wanted like officially licensed prop replicas, there's really only 2, 3. I hesitate to say 3 because one of them's a costume company, but it's EFX Collectibles, it's Regal Robot, and then Danuo Novos. And Danuo Novos was the one that I was hesitant on because they're actually technically not a replica company. They don't have a license to make replicas.
Okay.
They make costumes, but they actually have scans from the ones in the archives, and that's how they make their helmets. So I consider them replicas as well. They just, like, legally they can't sell them as replicas, so but yeah, those are the 3 licensed companies that are still making stuff, that if you get in there right now before stuff sells out, you can get it at retail, right, at a normal price, which is still not, it's not super cheap, right? Like you're still it's still several $100s. Most of the stuff is going to be like in the maybe even closer to $1,000. But again, they hold their value, they go up in price, and I almost see it as an investment if you do get into that.
Yeah. See, for me right now, kind of what I've been doing, I got the Black Series helmets. And then for sabers, I've been buying a lot from like Theory sabers, right? So like this is Obi-Wan Kenobi's from episode 3, and it looks really good.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I love about his sabers is that like he invested heavily in a lot of master replicas. So to him, when he's putting these together, he's like trying his hardest to get them as close as he can to that, which is good.
That's how I first met Nia. We started messaging back and forth because he was asking me about like some master replica stuff.
Okay.
And yeah, we were chatting. I sent him some master replica cases that he needed. So that that's cool. That's kind of how we became friends and then started chatting. But yeah, no, his sabers are great. I've seen them. They look legit. I mean, everything's very close to the originals. So again, for me, like my collector mentality, like I have to check myself, right? So I have to like put boundaries, within my collection, or else I'm just gonna start buying everything, right? So for me, one of the earliest things I said, I'm only gonna get like licensed replicas. Like I'm only gonna do that, because if you start going into the unlicensed world or like the fan made stuff, it just like, there's so much stuff out there, right? And I'm already out of room here. I was like, I can only imagine if I didn't kind of restrict myself. So yeah, so my collection is 95% officially licensed prop replicas, and again, part of it is just to keep me in check, to make sure that I don't kind of go crazier.
That's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
It's good to do that. Yeah, we do that in I'm deep into card collecting,
No,
and we do that too. People are like, "What's your PC?" You know, like, what do you personally collect?
what's up, Flex?
Because you have to put those boundaries because it's just like there's just so
Yeah,
much. There's just
yeah,
thousands on thousands on thousands of cards.
right.
Like, yeah, you can't do that.
You just
Like,
can't, right?
so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, who are your favorite characters? Who do you like to collect?
Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely. This is someone that's right up your alley, Gabe. Millennium Workshop makes some really, really cool stuff of his own.
Yeah,
Helmets and props and different things like that. I mean,
yeah.
he's
I think
got some
I might
crazy.
follow him on Instagram. I think.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, yeah,
Heck
yeah,
yeah. Good dude, Rex.
yeah.
Love him.
No, no,
Um
yeah, I know.
what are Jungle, before I keep going, do you have
Yeah,
any questions for him?
I
Because I
I
keep asking
do.
questions. Okay, go
I
ahead.
do.
I'm
Yeah, yeah,
sorry.
yeah. No,
I'm
I
just like I'm
definitely do.
getting
But
so like wrapped up in this.
no,
I'm
you're
like,
good, bro.
go
That's
ahead.
that's the whole point. But while you think about a couple other things there, Gazer, thank you. My biggest thing, so like I'm a maker too.
Mm,
And like one of the things that it's like I'm like I want to build myself. Like I want to build. It's like if I need something, like I try to build it myself
yeah,
first. So like everything to my left, all this is all built. This
yeah,
is built by me. It's like a big
yeah,
rolling carton storage, like for my stuff, like my show that I do. Like multiple other things in here are built. Like I have climbing
yeah.
walls in my garage. They're all hand built,
Nice.
and one of them is adjustable. It's like a massive, like on a winch, like it's crazy. So like I'm always like, how can I,
Yeah.
but whenever I see your setup, I'm like, how is that put together?
Yeah.
How because to me the display part of the display
Hmm.
of what you have going on is so well laid out and so thoughtful. Um,
Thank you.
what like what
Like,
do
how did
you
I do?
have going
Yeah.
on? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, I'll let you guys know and all the secrets. But I'm the same way, honestly. Like I love building stuff. Like I love like in fact I'm building out my garage to be my new collection room, and I'm doing it all myself. I like walled it off. I'm like doing this like built-in, in wall shelving system and like
Yeah.
so. But all this stuff is also gonna go over there. I built my own R2. Like I'm an R2 builder. Did that whole thing.
Whoa, dude, that's
So
sick.
here, I'll show him to you. He's right here.
Bro.
Oh,
Yeah,
R2.
yeah. So and
Oh,
he's
that is
RC and all
stupid
that.
cool.
So no, I'm all about it. Like I love
Yeah.
building stuff and all that. But again, it could get dangerous as far as like space. Because again, going back to this display, I'm very limited in like just real estate, right? Like because like there's really not any more room in here to put anything in here. And basically what I did is a giant window right here. And that giant window looks into our family room. So early on, when we got this house, I was like, all right, that's my Star Wars room. But I was like, I need to make it look really nice because I don't want, if we have company over, I don't want people to look into the room and just see like a man cave, just like kind of cluttered, just a bunch of stuff in here. I was like, I need to make it look really nice. So early on, I was really intentional about making sure, that it's gonna look like a museum.
Yeah.
So everything is well spaced. Like so usually like every helmet has like enough space around it, has like its one light. Um, and that was very on purpose, right? To make sure that again it looked like a museum. um Now at that point I was like, should I build them myself? Like that's gonna take a long time. I was already, that's the other thing, another problem with me is I'm very impatient. So what I ended up doing is getting IKEA frames.
Yeah.
So these are Bestas, and basically I just like configured them into, and stacked them, screwed them together, ran the lights, the kitchen puck lights, and even the lightsabers and weapons wall. That's also IKEA. The middle one's a Billy with two extensions, and then the sides are the thinner Bestas, like the little like I think they're like 7.5-inch Bestas, going all the way down. They're all just screwed together, screwed into the wall, and again, I needed to find a way to do it easy, but that's gonna look nice. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I like that because building your own shelving is a whole other undertaking, and then you
Yeah.
got to stain it and seal it and all that other stuff. Like I've done all
Yeah.
of that, you know what I mean? And it's hard to get it looking crispy, you know,
Yeah.
without spending a ton of time on it. And
Right.
like, yeah, like just looking at what I can see in your frame right now, if I built that myself, I know how long it would take me. Is it would take a very long time. It would be
Yeah.
weeks before I could ever come close to that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Well, and it's taught to like I would have had to build it in here because
yep,
there's this tiny little door into this office,
yep.
and there's just not even enough room going this way to like
Mhm.
would just to bring it in. I'd have to build it in parts, right?
Yep.
So I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it just IKEA, and I just stacked
Yeah.
them up.
That's sick.
Yeah. That's
That's
what I
sick.
thought that you did,
Mhm.
but I wasn't sure because, you know, it's like you never get too good a look. It's like you're always like seeing so
Yeah,
much that like being able to be like, well, what is
like what is
this?
he doing?
Like that. What
Yeah,
is,
there's
yeah.
actually a video on my YouTube channel. There's
Mhm.
I put out a video a few years ago, and it's like the collecting 101s, and I did one on my displays, and I basically run through everything. I like show you like behind the doors, and I'm like, look, this is how they're attached. This is what
Cool.
I got. The shelving, like the floating shelves, because I think a lot of people were like, oh my god, like because like
Yeah.
there's floating shelves here, but I mean that C3PO weighs like 35 pounds, right? So it's like
Yeah.
they're like, what are you doing for them to, to not fall? So I talk about that. I talk about the brackets I use and how they're drilled in there. But yeah,
Cool.
That's sick.
Yeah. That's so sick. Yeah. It looks so good. Like your spacing, that's one of the things that's like, you don't realize until you're like a designer that you know why does it look so good,
yeah,
like, well, the spacing is really good, you
yeah,
know, you've absolutely optimized that space for what you have, and it's, you can tell it's really good.
yeah. But it's also keeps me in check, right? Because
Yep.
again, it's one of those things like I already know there's stuff on the floor right now because I'm like I have nowhere to put it. 'Cause, yeah, that's why I'm building that up. This company called PCS Collectibles just sent me one of their prototypes for this bus that they had at San Diego Comic Con. It's like right here, and
Yo,
it's massive. It's like
Yeah, that's
it's
insane.
life size.
Dude, I've
That's
seen that at Denver Fan Expo with the
Yeah,
Star Destroyers kind of around it with like
yeah,
a
around it.
built-in like Death
yeah,
Star. Yeah, dude, that is
yeah, that
dope.
thing is disgusting
Yeah,
with Obi-Wan on one side. Yeah.
yeah. It has Obi-Wan. Yeah, I'm just trying to put it together because it was their prototype. Didn't have instructions. So I was like trying to figure out where everything went, and like, and that thing weighs a ton too. I mean, that one's probably like a good probably like 60 pounds, I want to say. Because
Whoa.
yeah, because as soon as I picked, I was like, ooh, I don't know. Like I got nervous with the floating shelf. I was like, ooh, like
Yeah.
I'm like I trust myself, but like, do I really trust myself? But luckily it's been holding. So, but yeah.
Kind of on that space of shelving and stuff, like for me, right? I'm trying to figure out the best shelving to kind of go across back here.
Mhm.
And like, what would like if you're just kind of looking at my space, like what would you suggest? I know it's on camera, but
Yeah.
like color wise, shelf wise, like what kind of shelving would you
Yeah.
suggest? Because
I
I want
mean,
to be able to like when I'm sitting here, I want people to be able to see it, like, oh, that's a Darth Vader helmet. That's a
mhm,
Boba.
yeah. Yeah, well, I guess it depends what you're gonna put on the shelves, right? Like if it's for helmets, if it's for like lightsabers, um, but I mean, honestly, like the Besta systems, like the IKEA Bestas are like, I love those. We even joke around a lot of the like collectors that have Bestas. I'm like, oh, the Besta boys, because like they're the only shelves that are kind of deep enough to fit some of these helmets,
Yeah.
right? Because some of them, like the Darth Vader one, yeah, just some of the thicker ones, they won't face forward. You have to like kind of face them sideways if you put them on a normal shelf. But yeah, the IKEA Bestas are probably kind of the most like versatile shelving systems.
Okay. Because I even thought about getting like white cabinet, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So like the
yeah, they
Vader
have.
and everything pops.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, they have them in all the colors. Yeah, white, brown. So,
That's cool. Continue, Jungle. Sorry, I just had to ask that little side trail question while we were.
Oh, that's good. I mean, that's awesome. Yeah. So someone asked you in the chat earlier about the
Yeah,
Han Solo
yeah,
in Carbonite, and I just wanted to come back to that. But
yeah,
the question was like, how did you acquire that? Where did that come from?
yeah. So yeah, that one I've been on the hunt for this one for like 20 years. So I built my original. So when you look at my older videos, if anybody's been following me like on YouTube since back in the day, a lot of the videos you'll see the Han Solo and Carbonite behind most of my videos. And in fact, when I first started doing like short form videos, that was my original Han Solo, and I built it myself. I went on the RPF. I like found a guy that does like the framing kit. I looked up a lot of the build logs and the threads, how to paint it, how to get the front part, like the actual panel. And what they did in the RPF is somebody made a mold of the Elusive Concepts Han Solo. And Elusive Concepts was a company back in the 90s that had the license from Lucasfilm, again, to go into the archives and study whatever. And they actually went in there and they full on just did a mold of the Han Solo, the original screen used Han Solo and Carbonite, and they made a mold of the second panel, like the side panels of the second hero panel, and then they released them. And there were supposed to be 2,500 of them, but they didn't sell as good as they thought they were, because they would only sell them at Sharper Image and those flight catalogs. Like when they're back in the day, you'd be on a plane and be like,
Yeah,
Air,
it's so strange.
I don't remember what they're called, but it was like Air Mall or something like
It's
that.
Air Mall, yeah, or Sky Mall.
Sky Mall. There you
Yeah,
go. Yeah. So they didn't sell that many of them. Rumor has it there's probably about 1,000, about 1,200 out there. But towards the 1,200, the mold already started getting a little rough. You could start seeing there's like some imperfections, like around the nose, around the fingernails, in between the hands. Plus, that thing, it weighs probably about 100 pounds. So it's not like super, super heavy, but it's fiberglass. So a lot of these got chipped, right? Like the fingers broke off, the nose would break off. So they're hard to find in good condition. And then second, you can't really ship these, right? You'd either have to freight it or you'd have to go pick it up somehow, like in a U-Haul or something. So it's like a trifecta of like things that have to come together, right? You have to find one locally, or at least close enough to be able to drive to get it in good condition, and of course at a good price, right? Because some people, they'll sell them for like 10 grand. So luckily I was fortunate enough a few years ago to find one locally, again in good condition. And this guy, that was he only had that, and he still had all the paperwork and everything too. I was like, oh my God, This is
Wow.
a score. It was just like this like older guy. He lived with like his elderly mom, and they just like, it was like you walk in and it was like an old lady's house, but then Solo and Carbonite like right in the dining room. And I was like,
Wow.
oh my God, this is awesome. And he was just like, yeah, he's like, I've held on to it since since 1997 or something like that. And he's just like, I just had it here at my mom's house. And yeah, he had like the certificate of authenticity, all the paperwork, everything. I was like, oh man, I hit the jackpot. So that's what this is. So this is the Elusive Concepts, Han Solo and Carbonite. Let me see if I can get a little closer without bumping into anything here. So it's hard to tell the scale, but as you can see, it's probably about 7 feet tall. It's obviously it's life size. That's Harrison Ford's face, and
That's sick.
And yeah, it's pretty massive. And then I replaced the hero panels, the Hero 1 and Hero 2, so they light up. Although I don't think I have it connected right now. But yeah, no, this thing is, there it is. It's crazy. And like I said, it's an actual, they took it from, like they made a mold of the screen used one. So this is the only one out there, because there's a lot of other ones that, like Sideshow Collectibles put out one. Ruby's even came out with one. But this is the only one that's actually from the screen used one.
That's wild.
That's sick.
We actually were joking backstage before we got started.
Yeah.
We were saying actually he has Han Solo. Like that
That's
is Harrison Ford, and they actually cloned him. And the one that we see playing like Red Hulk and all of that, that's a clone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
This is true.
Yeah. He's right here. Yeah. Maybe one day we'll let him out.
we'll let him out later.
I
Once the
want
clone
to
is
talk
gone.
about that jetpack you have behind you there.
Yeah.
So
Let's see if I can get a little bit closer here.
Boba is my favorite character, and
Yeah.
so anything to do with like the Mandalorians and Boba and Jango, like I love that. That is just
Yeah.
take us on a journey of that story where you got that bad boy. And
So
how you
that
feel
one,
about it.
so no licensed company had made one before. So this one's one of the few items in my collection that's like that I had to commission, like fan made. And I have a mess down here that I can't even get through to so I can't even take you closer. But basically, the guy that painted this for me painted it exactly like the Return of the Jedi Special Edition.
Ooh.
Because it had more scratches than the original Return of the Jedi, and he used original flow quill paints. So like the paints that the ILM people used, when they made it back in the 80s.
Wow.
So it's like an exact replica of it. So yeah, it's one of the few unlicensed things that I have in here. But I was like, I need that jetpack. I have a few things. Boba Fett, like I have his blaster.
Yo.
And that's the Master Replicas blaster. And then if you see over here, I actually have a little Mandalorian section. So it's like Boba Fett, I got Bausch, I got Greedo, and then I got Jango down there.
Oh,
and
that's
then
sick.
got Din, Bo-Katan, and the armor back there behind.
That's so
behind.
cool.
They'll be more prominent, obviously, in the new collection space, because right now they're kind of hidden just back. But
I also saw I love your like your Praetorian Guard and your Vader display. Those are sick as well.
Yeah, that Vader one's probably one of my favorites. That one's it's the EFX Collectibles Legend Edition, and that one was actually the original one that they were working off was pulled from the Rick Baker molds.
Dude,
because they lost. Basically, the New Hope helmet got lost. Like nobody knows what happened to it. And then luckily they had Rick Baker had made a mold of that helmet, just in case, like for the future or whatever, or for like the touring helmets and all that stuff. So luckily they still had that mold, and they found it and they made a casting, pulled from that mold, and then that's how they made those. So it's super cool because it's like it's rough, right? It's like kind of wonky. It's not symmetrical. It's painted kind of the same way that they painted it, kind of just like these rough brush strokes, like silver. It's like the checkered. It's like silver, black. Yeah.
That's so cool. Not that you ever would, but is it wearable?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's sick.
All the helmets are wearable. So every single one, because they're the replicas, right? The replicas of the screen used one. So yeah, they're all wearable.
Okay, so regarding helmets, I have a little question to ask you, and I heard this, and I want to know if this is true. Yeah. Somebody told me that you go to like either Walmart or what have you, and you buy like paper towel holders to hold your helmets. Is that true?
Yeah, on some of them, yeah. I've made videos
awesome.
about it. In fact, in that display video, I talk about that because I talk about all the display base, like all the helmet stands, and I'm like, honestly, the cheapest and like most the best ones because they're heavy, right?
Yeah.
You go to Walmart or just like on Amazon, $10-15 aluminum, helmet. Here, let me show you.
He's like, I have a few of them here.
Yeah. Oh, I have a ton of them. Yeah, like at one point I bought them in bulk.
Oh yeah,
but like I mean, think about it. Like it's weighted. It's like a weight down here.
Yeah, they're perfect.
And it's just like a perfect height. You just drop it in there, and that's
perfect. Those are beautiful.
That's sick.
Yeah, and they're like $15, and sometimes, like I said, on Amazon, if they would come down to like $10, I'd be like,
"That's right,
done."
It was Bryant Collectibles. I was trying to figure out who told me, but yeah, Gabe.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You did,
What up,
Brian. My
Bryant?
bad. How you doing, Bryant? Good to see you, bud.
Yeah, Bryant's such a good guy.
He is. He is. He was telling me about an instance, and I won't go into detail or anything, but like, you were talking about, you like to stay on target, like stay on target, right?
Yeah,
Like, but like, he has some collectible stuff that
yeah,
he was talking to you about, and you're like, I would love to, but I can't, right? And just trying to stay
yeah.
on target, like,
Yeah, we were messaging back and forth. He's like, bro, like, you know how many people would like you'd say no to this? And I'm like, I know, man, but like it deserves to be displayed properly. It deserves to be like in a collection that's gonna like showcase it. I'm like, in my collection, it's just gonna get lost in there and it's just gonna get like shoved in a, like in a little corner. So like I don't
yeah,
want to do that. Like,
yeah.
but yeah, no, he's such a he's funny like that. He was just like, I can't. No, you gotta take it. I'm like, no, I don't know, Brian. No. Yeah.
He's such a good guy. The dude would give his shirt off his back for anyone.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
love talking to him.
I love that. This is like a little bit, a few steps backward, but with the jetpack,
Yeah.
just coming back to that, I love that it's not licensed, but
Mhm.
the way that it was put together and done
Mhm.
was like so rooted in the original processes,
Yeah.
like down to the paint. Like that's something that really is like that gets me. I'm like, yes, dude.
So you hit it. That's exactly. So my whole thing, what connects me to these props is the lineage, right? To
Yes.
me, that's why I wanted them licensed, because there's a connection directly to the screen used movie ones, right? Because somebody went in there, studied them, handled them, or scanned them, or took molds or whatever, and now I have a connection to the movies, right? So the few pieces that are not licensed, I still wanted to have that connection. I didn't want it just to have just this like, oh, like cool piece. Like I wanted something, a little bit something more. So that added some extra stuff. Not only was the flow quill paints used, but like some of the parts, like some of the little like the rangefinder, or I don't, it's not really a rangefinder, but there's these little metal greeblies that are on there. I went and I studied to see what they used, and one of them ended up being like a dental drill thing. The other one's like this old amplifier connection. So I went and I found the vintage versions of those, and so I incorporated them into that. There's a couple pieces. Every unlicensed piece that I have has something. So there's a vibro axe up there. I don't know if you could see it. Very top.
Yeah.
There's a vibro axe that my buddy Ryan made, and that one is all found parts. Like basically he
Did it the way that they did it.
Yeah, he looked at every part and found every single part that they used on that. And then he went and found the vintage ones, like the old, like just on eBay, random pieces. And one part that's really cool about that is that because it was for Return of the Jedi, and they used a Kenner Han Solo blaster, like the gun, the front part of it, they like cut it out and it's actually bolted on there. So who would have known, right? Until like you look at the pic. Yeah, it's like that one. Yeah, like the 1977, Kenner version.
That's cool.
And yeah, the little front little like handle part is attached to that. So like things like that. And he's hitting me up when he was building it. He's like, hey, like, do you want like an actual vintage one, or do you care if it's like from Empire Strikes Back? And I'm like, man, make it as legit as you can. So like here he is trying to find one of these vintage Kenner blasters on eBay, like, and I just needed the front, so it didn't have to be in great condition. But
right, exactly. Yeah,
That's
crazy. Can you say the name of that paint again?
Flow quills or flow quill.
Our buddy John Goffett is in here. He says, this stream is so fun. It fascinates me to see any kind of behind the scenes or collectibles from Star Wars.
Oh yeah. I could definitely show you some other cool stuff. I got some screen use stuff from like Andor, from like, I'll bring this.
I was gonna say, let's see this stuff.
I know,
This
right?
is why we're here.
That's why we're here. So like this emblem right here. So this is one of the door insignias from that room. Do you remember
Oh yeah.
that
Yeah.
scene? Like where the
Ryan's game
generals?
chamber, yeah.
Yeah. So you see how they had that circle with
Yeah,
the
it was right there. That came off
Yeah.
the door, the sliding door.
yeah. That's
That's
one
so
of them
dope.
right there. I have. Let's see. It's kind of hard because I have like I'm on my laptop, but so like up there I have like an actual piece of the Death Star, and then behind it, which is
Dude.
hard, it's hard to show you, but you see that little Imperial cog looking thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's from Andor, from the jail scene.
Oh, from
You know how they're
episode 5,
building
yeah.
they're building them,
Yeah.
like one of the
Put
end
stuff
caps of
together,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that one's actually from the show. Yeah, there's a few things that are kind of like I have a coin from the Obi-Wan series, like one of the. Let me see.
That's the cool thing about the current shows too, is that you can get your hands on stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's sweet.
So this one was one of the production coins that they use. So, I mean, you don't really see him too often. I think it's only like when he gets paid, when he's like
The beginning.
cutting, yeah, the like butcher work, and then the other one is when he throws the coin in like that homeless clone trooper.
Yeah.
The 501st
Yep.
Like-
homeless. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't really see him too often, but you
That's
know,
what that
obviously
was.
they
That's
made him.
cool.
they
Do
made
you
him.
have any like screen used OT or prequel stuff?
No, nothing pre. I mean, not screen used. I have.
It's gotta be so hard to get that stuff.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I was just
Well,
curious.
The prequel stuff, actually, you could. Funny enough, it comes up a lot in auctions. It's just the only problem with prequel stuff is that it's hard to trust. Like, because even if it's like a legit, auction house, and I'm sure there's lineage to them, and I'm sure they're gonna find out like who got them from what. The problem with that is that like a lot of the lightsabers for the prequels, they made so many. Like they made so many, and they're all made out of resin that there's hundreds of them out there. So like you don't really know if it actually was screen used or if it was just
Yeah.
like a production made one that just
That's
kind of
fair.
sat in the little cart.
Yep.
But let's see, I got the little necklace.
Yo, that's sick.
So that one's actually from the Disney parks. They put one out, and then I have from the prequels. Let's see, I don't have too many prequel stuff. Lightsabers, obviously, I have like Count Dooku's, and that one's autographed by Christopher Lee.
Whoa.
I have Yoda's lightsaber. I have Sidious's lightsaber. And that's about it. Just Django. The Django.
That Count Dooku lightsaber you got signed. Did you personally meet Christopher Lee in person?
No, so back in the
Okay.
day, so Master Replicas used to come out with several editions. They would have like a regular standard limited edition. They would have a signature edition,
Yeah.
and sometimes even an elite edition, which they'd just make them heavier, like better, just better made. So that one's one of the Master Replicas signature editions.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so cool. I always thought I think one of the cool, probably the one of, if not the coolest human being to ever walk this earth is probably got to be Christopher Lee. That
Oh.
dude was insane.
Oh, for sure. He played metal guitar, right? And he's
He had a heavy
Right.
metal band up until he died.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah, they say that James Bond, right? Like Ian Fleming, like was his cousin or something like that, and like
Yeah.
they believe that James Bond was actually made like after him, like about
Yeah.
him, because he was also like a spy like during the war.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's so cool.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And who did he play? So was he the man with the golden gun too?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. What a
John
legend,
Goffett
dude.
wants to know, what's your favorite item in all your collection and why?
Ooh, that's a good one. It's probably the Rancor. So this Rancor right here, was digitally scanned from the puppet in the Lucasfilm archive. So the actual one that they use, right? So the hand goes in the back. It's made by Regal Robot. They made 83 of them. This one's number 8. But yeah, this thing is just so cool. Like
That's sick.
So you can move it, you can manipulate it.
no.
Oh,
They
no.
it's resin, but
It's a cast. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, but they digitally scanned the original. They had to like modify it a little bit because obviously the original one was foam latex, so it was kind of like already degrading. It was like hunching over,
Yeah.
and then it had a big hole in the back, right? Because that's where the hand would go to operate it. But yeah, no, that ring core is just
So
beautiful. Every time I look at it, and it's hard to like see the scale of it like on video,
mhm.
but it's big. Like it's
Yeah.
probably about 20 inches all the way around. Like
Dang.
it's a big
I so badly want one that size that you can move. Like,
right.
I want that so bad. Like, even if it's just like plastic and I because like Black Series was gonna do one. They did like one of their
Yeah,
HasLab
I remember
things,
that.
and it didn't go. Like,
Yeah,
it didn't work out. Like everybody's like, run it again. Like,
yeah,
it'll go. Like,
yeah. I was
Bryant.
surprised that
bad.
didn't go through.
I'm amazed too.
If
Well,
there's
I
an
think that,
earthquake,
like,
oh, trust me. I mean, I'm in Southern California,
oh,
so earthquakes are common down here. So trust me, anytime there's an earthquake or like even just the sound of like or like some type of like notification, it's like, oh, there was an earthquake somewhere, nearby. I like run to the collection room. I'm like, oh shit, like make sure nothing fell. Like,
mhm.
yeah, that's
That would be
terrible.
nerve-wracking.
Oh,
Get
it
your
is.
hands on Han Solo. Get your hands on
Yeah,
Han.
yeah. Han Solo is probably the one thing that'll probably stay
Be
up.
okay.
I would be nervous about the lightsabers just because like if the wall is like
Boeing.
swaying,
Yeah.
those lightsabers are just gonna just fall. Even if the all the shelves stay up, I mean the sabers themselves are gonna
Yeah.
collapse. The helmets are behind the little glass cases, so it's probably less likely, right? Because they'll probably like
Yeah.
I don't know. It'll probably slam into the glass before it actually falls, but
Yeah.
just never know.
Wild. Well, hopefully that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
Hopefully that doesn't happen.
Right.
I know.
So was this year your first year at Rebel Scum Con, or is it your second year?
No, they invited me out last year, like the first.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is
So
my second year.
what is your, I mean, obviously you must like Rebel Scum Con, but what are your overall thoughts and how'd you get connected with those guys?
Yeah. So I've been a fan of rebelscum.com like for a long time. Like before Facebook, before, I mean even I guess like the Facebook groups are kind of the newer thing. That's where you went to go find collectibles. That's where the community was for collecting. Like but it was a forum, right? So it was like old school. You just type in your little comment and you'd wait an hour for the other comments and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, rebelscum.com was kind of like my intro to like the community, right? The collecting community. And so I've always been posting on there. I post like all my review videos, since I started the YouTube channel. And I met them, I want to say at Star Wars Celebration, the Anaheim one in maybe 2016, or might have been the next one, the one in 2022. But I met them there and they're like, oh yeah, totally. Like we know your videos, like you're always, you post. So they're like, yeah, we should collaborate at one point. I met all those guys like, Bobby and Kentucky and Josh and all of them. So that's kind of, and then every time I'd see them at a convention, just randomly, right? Like, be like, hey, what's up, guys? Oh, the Rebel Scum Con guys. Yeah, we got to do something. We got to collaborate on something. And then I keep on saying Rebel Scum Con now because it's like so in my head. But
Right.
the rebelscum.com people. And yeah, so then when I saw them one year, I guess it was 3 years ago now at LA Comic Con, and they were kind of like getting their talent, they were trying to figure out like who's going to go for their signings and stuff like that. And they were like, yeah, man, we'd love to have you out. Like, come check it out. And again, because I had that strong connection with rebelscum.com, I was like, yeah, for sure. Like I'll go check it out. And it was a blast, man. It was great because it's small, right? It was a small convention, but it felt more like because it was all Star Wars fans. It really felt like a reunion, like a family reunion, and then like all the celebrities were really accessible, and you were able to like just chat with them and just actually have a conversation with them. So when they told me that they were doing the second one, I was like, oh, absolutely, I got to go to this. And they did such a great job on the second one as far as like marketing and all that stuff. So
That's cool. That's cool. This is my first year. I think Jungle's first year too, going to Rebel Scum Con, and we loved it. It was great. It was phenomenal. Like, and to me, like, I consider you a celebrity because I've been following you on like in all the socials for so long. I was like, oh my god, it's Gabe. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, but like you're right. Like, I walked up to Dennis Lawson and was like, hey, can I ask you a few questions?
yeah,
And he's like, yeah, sure. And I mean, same with Tate Fletcher and Matthew Wood and all these guys that like you go to any other convention. Like I was out at Denver Fan Expo. You try doing that there, good luck. You
no,
know
yeah,
what I mean? Like that ain't happening.
no,
Um, so yeah.
yeah. And the fact that they're just like sometimes just in the lobby or like because it's in the hotel. So like,
Right.
yeah,
It's
they
wild.
did a good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so good. Like I was really impressed.
Mhm.
They had some problems and they would work to fix it and they would solve it. They would come up with a solution.
Yeah,
Do the best they can with it. And but overall it was like, dude, I was like, for a small convention, this is really good.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It was,
Mm.
and they
And
really take care of their guests, right? Like
they
they're,
do.
and I don't mean like the guests like celebrities, like the guests, like
All
everyone
of
who's
us.
going, right?
Yeah.
Like to do those after hour events, like the like
Yeah.
Cantina, and like the
So
Cantina
cool.
Network, the Dave and Buster's thing, like just
Yeah.
that alone, like how cool is that? Like you wouldn't
So
get that
cool.
in any other
No.
No.
convention, like
No,
Yeah.
it's so special because of that. Like, and it's like what you said. Like, I really key into the like family reunion thing because it's like a lot of us, we're like, we're connected obviously online. And we can do
mhm,
this, we can do these type podcasts, and
yeah,
I run streams like 5 days a week, and people come in and talk to me on that. But like, being able to actually hang out with everybody, it's
yeah,
like some of my best friends in Star Wars are in Florida and New York and on
yeah,
the West Coast, and we're all over the place. I'm in the middle, and it's like, and so is Gazer,
Mhm.
and for all of us to be able to just like come to one thing, and it's like 25 of us that we're all friends
yeah,
from across the country, is really cool.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we're like, when's the next one? And it's
Yeah.
not because of the event itself, it's because of each other that we're so
yeah,
excited to be
yeah.
able to go to these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that hotel was great. Like the way it was like laid out, and some of the rooms. Did you guys stay at the
Yeah.
hotel?
Yep.
Yeah, and they had like a big old living room and like the separate little bedroom. So like a lot of
Yeah.
people started having like little parties like in their in their room.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool little
Yeah.
extra. It's
Have
almost like
you
Dragon Con. I've heard.
Have
It's like a
you
little
that's
party.
one of the reasons we loved RSCs because it felt like the first con I ever went to was ICCC in
Mm,
Nashville.
yeah.
We got to get you out there. One of the cool things, it has that family vibe,
Mm,
but it's a lot more like collector side.
mm,
So like after the con closes every night, everyone like sets up their room for sales and
mm.
they open up their doors and like you walk floor to floor, room to room, and you just walk into people's room and they got like all of this stuff,
All the
Kenner
vintage.
toys, like all these vintage toys and all these like it's really, really cool, but it's got
Yeah.
that family feeling. It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet. We got to get you out there, Gabe.
Yeah, no, I have a bunch of friends that go every year, and yeah, it to me, I've always been like, well, I have like because I started collecting the Kenner figures, like the original ones,
Yeah.
but I finished the run, so I was just like, oh, well, I'm not necessarily like a Kenner collector, but everyone's like, no, man, like they have everything, but I always just thought of it as like a vintage Kenner convention.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's growing. I think like at least this last time around, like a lot of us there that were into cards, like cards were coming
Oh,
up a
okay.
lot. Like
Yeah.
people were selling cards, people were selling Black Series. Like there was
Mm,
kind of like a little bit of everything going around. at that point,
I
except
helped
for
get
maybe
Nia
some of the
there.
high end replicas. What'd you say?
I said I helped get Nia there.
Yeah,
That's
Nia was
awesome.
there.
Did he went? Nice.
Yeah, his whole company went. Yeah, so that was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
like
dude. I definitely gotta go. I gotta hit that con one year.
yeah, yeah, you definitely should because it's like it's still it's like another family reunion. It's like
Yeah.
you get to do it twice,
Yeah.
where it's like small like that. They do it in the same kind of a situation in an embassy suites like that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool.
It's
Yeah. I got LA Comic Con's my next one. That one's
Nice.
in a couple weeks. So
That's so
Heck
cool.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to Celebration in 2027.
yeah. Yeah. It's gonna be fun, man. Did you guys go to Japan?
I did.
I've never been to a Celebration.
Oh, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go to that one. It's a
Yeah.
whole thing, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
When you were in Japan, Gabe, were you out
Yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure we just brushed shoulders
Oh,
at one point. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were so many people there. It was wild. I loved it. What was your experience like?
I loved it because we ended up doing 2 weeks over there. So like I brought my family, my kids, and yeah, so we went to and we were thinking about like how do we do it? Do we like backload the Japan experience and then end at Celebration, or do we start at Celebration and then go do the whole Japan thing? So we ended up doing Celebration first and then Japan, which is good because I a lot of people are like, dude, like because you're walking everywhere in Japan, and it's like by the time Celebration hit, they're exhausted, like their feet were just killing them. So I'm glad I did that. But I loved it. Like I think it was so wild. I mean, not a week goes by that me and my wife are not like, man, like we need to go back. Like that was great. We love Japan.
Yeah.
That's sick.
We did the same thing. My wife and I we went and we were kind of in an awkward stage because we have a toddler and she was just like barely old enough for us to be like, which thing do we try to leave her with like our in-law or with my in-laws, her parents, or do we take her? And we just decided we'll just take her.
Yeah.
And it ended up being like very mixed because we front loaded our Japan experience.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, it was luckily my wife and I were like mountain athletes. Like we live in Colorado and we're climbers and like serious hikers and adventurers. And so for us, all the walking didn't really hurt us. Like, but mentally, the toll that it took on us to like, because my wife kind of like, she's really good at traveling and picking things she wants to do and be like, let's go check that out. Let's do this. Let's do that. But we hadn't done that with a toddler yet.
Yeah.
And so like I hadn't really processed like the thing. I was like, okay, that sounds cool, whatever. But like I didn't like put myself there.
Yeah.
To be able to like imagine what it would be like to do that with her. And it was like, dude, there was some stuff like I literally like made the calls like you were gonna cut this out completely. We're gonna go do this instead. Like and kind of saved our trip on the back half.
Yeah.
But yeah, we want to do it again as well. So
That's
we got
sick.
some questions coming through on the chat.
Yeah, so I told chat to drop their questions, so we're just gonna kind of go through here, if that's cool. Hercules wants to know what's y'all's opinion on hot toys.
Yeah. I mean, I love hot toys. It's just one of those like it's like too risky for me to start with those. That's like a slippery slope because I already know myself, and if I get one, I know I'm gonna be like, well, I gotta get the set. It's like that trending sound where it's like, I gotta get it a friend, and well, since I got the friend, I gotta get them all, all of them.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would be one of those guys that has like a room full of them because I can't control myself. So I just don't even buy them. I have one. Actually, no, I'm lying. I have one Star Wars. I have one Star Wars one, but I have the Back to the Future ones because I have the DeLorean and I have Marty McFly and I have Doc. But that's it. That's it. No more.
You can kind of compartmentalize that though.
Yeah,
with
there you
Star
go.
Wars, there's a million of them, and it's crazy. Yeah,
that's funny. Elijah wants to know I don't know if you've covered this, but since he's growing his space for his collection in his garage, what direction is he looking to expand his collection in?
Before I answer that, can I ask Elijah, is Leopoldo his other name or his last name? Because that's actually my first name. My first name is Leopoldo, and like not a lot of people know that.
Whoa.
A lot of people don't know that. My middle name's Gabriel, but Leopoldo, and it's such a rare name, right? It's like Leopold.
Yeah.
Oh, and and I saw it on there, and I was like, huh, that's weird. Like I've never seen anyone else with that name. But anyways,
That's awesome.
What was
He wants to know, since you're expanding your collection, your space in your garage, what direction are you headed in for your collection?
Just expansion. I mean, it's gonna be the exact same collection, same stuff. I just need more space. Like I gotta get some of these helmets off the ground. So I'm gonna have probably about 12 more boxes that I'm gonna be able to fit in there. And like I said, there's a whole like 10 by, or it's like a 20 by 9.5 wall that I'm building it like for like built in.
Yeah.
For a lot of the like maquettes and a lot of the like the archive stuff. So
Yeah, that's sweet. Elijah says that's his last name.
okay, nice.
So
Are you gonna be able to open the garage door? Or you're gonna
No.
keep it completely sealed?
Sealed. It's
Yeah,
already sealed. It's
that's
almost
what I
kind of,
figured.
yeah.
Yeah.
that's wild. That's crazy. What Limitless Nerd wants to know, what's your collection holy grail?
Holy Grail. I mean, I still think that
Rancor.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
Rancor we talked about right here. Like
That's
that's
sick.
the Holy Grail right there.
Lightning Slug wants to know, does Gabe have anything related to Admiral Akbar in his collection? I don't know if you want to answer it. It's a trap.
I know, right? It is a trap. I mean, I guess I have. Let's see.
Little snack bar.
I'm trying to see
Nice.
if
Old snack bar.
I have no, I guess just the vintage figure here. This is it right here.
Yeah.
It's a
there
trap.
he-
Yeah,
there
that's
he
the
is.
It's a trap. I love it. Oh man. Django Fett asks, are you going to SpaceCon in October? And this is actually a question for everybody, he says. I would love to. I don't think I'm going to be able to this year.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of people keep asking me about it. Like they're like, you should come. It's a great convention. It's that, but I'm like, after LA Comic Con, I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if I'll be up for it. You know, because then the holidays kick in, and you know, I have little ones, so then it just becomes like nonstop. You know.
Yeah, I get that.
I'll probably try to sneak away to it. I've already kind of I've worked up a semi plan with a couple people, and it's not 100% yet, but we do have a hotel booked. And we're trying to get there. So we shall see. I have a project that I want to do that's kind of like built into me going to that con. So I don't necessarily have to go for the project to work though, but I'd like to go.
Nice.
Lightning Slug, you missed the beginning. Show him, Gabe.
Oh, the Rancor?
No, your favorite Star Wars character. Show him.
Target.
Show him the weapons of mass destruction. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there you go, Lightning Slug.
There.
You may fly when ready.
Yeah.
Yo.
Limitless Nerd, what's one piece you've always been looking for but have never been able to get your hands on?
Ooh, that's a good one. There's a few pieces. Actually, if Bryant is still in here, he knows all about them. But one of them is the EFX Collectibles McVader, they call it, but it's the McQuarrie concept Darth Vader mask. That one's a great one, and Brian's been really cool about helping me find that one. So, and then yeah, that's probably it. That's the one, because for a long time it was that Han Solo and Carbonite until I found it, and I was like, yes.
And just so you
That feels
know,
so satisfying. Like
Oh,
like taking that amount of time and then finally tracking it down
years.
and making it happen. It's so cool.
Yep.
Bryant is watching us. He's currently working right now on set wherever he's at, and he's
That's
got us on his
funny.
little tablet there.
Oh,
So,
that's funny.
Bro, with the green screen and everything. Let's
Yep.
go.
Yeah.
love it.
That's so cool.
That's really cool.
But
What
yeah, probably it.
what for you, if there's I mean, it kind of ties into that piece collection, but
Mhm.
if there was one thing that popped across your screen, or was like, you could get this, but this would be it, what would that one piece be where it's like, this for me, like, yes, your Rancor right now is your holy grail, but this would be like the holy grail of all holy grails for
Yeah.
you, where
Holiest
it's
of
like,
grails.
this ends my collection right here. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. I mean, I have a piece. I have a piece. It's worthy of the living room. So I mean that. So I kind of already have that. So like if I were to get rid of all of this, that one piece would be like the one. Like it's incredible. Like and I hate to do this to you guys because I gotta be like, it's incredible, but I can't show it to you guys. Like
Okay.
it's definitely a piece that um it's like this, it's an iconic piece. It's like one of these things that like it's just unheard of to have it.
Okay.
Unheard of. So like yeah, it's crazy. So I have that. So if I got rid of everything here, I would still be perfectly satisfied because I have that one piece. Maybe I'll show it
Really?
to you guys.
Tell us what it is, or are you not going to tell
Yeah.
us what it is?
I can't.
He
I
said
can't.
he might show us backstage. So after
might
we're
sh-
done here, just stay on and we'll
That's fair.
we have to sign an NDA.
That's fair, though.
You gotta
No,
sign
that's
that
very fair.
NDA. You could find it every once in a while. You could find it in some of the videos.
Bryant is watching.
There he is watching. Yeah,
He says George
amazing.
looks flannel. That's what it is, huh, Gabe?
right. George Lucas in Carbonite.
Right.
Yeah. No. It's more. I consider it more of an art piece than anything. So.
Okay.
But you could probably see it. You know what I if you go watch my last collection tour on my YouTube channel, you'll find it. I did a quick
scan
pan,
over.
a quick scan over, so you can definitely see it. But the history behind the story behind it is what's crazy.
Okay.
But
Which, sorry for y'all who won't be backstage after this is done. I feel sorry for
guys.
you,
but if you guys see me in person at a convention or whatever, just hit me up and I'll show it to you and on my phone and tell you the story.
So a couple of the things, let's see. Yo, Star Wars Sith is in here. Here we go.
What up,
Gabe is a
Tony?
legend. What's up, Tony?
What up, Tony?
Definitely the Emperor's throne room chair to kick back and watch football. Yeah.
So I had the Regal Robot one in here for a long time, and that was kind of one of those like whenever I would do those videos where like the door opens and like you see my collection, it was like the throne was right in the middle. But eventually, like I said, it got too crazy. It's like packed in here with stuff. I mean, look, if I scroll down, like you'll see there's
That's awesome.
stuff everywhere. Like
I love. Do you like how I don't know if you caught it, but I sat the way he was sitting in his chair. I sat him in your Emperor's chair for a thumbnail.
Oh,
I was like, this is perfect. I love it. Hercules is about to go watch it again. So we like to try and stay around an hour. We're a little over here, but one of the questions I want to ask, especially in light of our good friend Wrath not being able to be here, and he loves asking this question. So, Wrath, I got you, bro. What does Star Wars mean to you?
Ooh, yeah. I just got asked that at Star Wars Celebration.
Heck yeah.
I mean, it really is like these days now, it really is about like the community and like, just like the friendships that you make along the way. I always, bring up this analogy is that like Star Wars fans, like no matter what, like no matter like your political beliefs or your like religious beliefs or anything. It's like Star Wars tends to be that one thread that kind of just like unites us like across the board, right? And even though within Star Wars there's a lot of, there's infighting and stuff, but like at the end of the day, like we could all kind of come back and agree on certain things in Star Wars. And again, like I said, you can go to any event, any place, anywhere, and you see someone wearing a Star Wars shirt and you're wearing a Star Wars shirt, like you are guaranteed that that's going to be your friend. Like you can go up to him and be like, yo, Star Wars, right? That's what it's about, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Last question. Well, last question from the chat, and then I have a question, and then Jungle. We usually like to end it with each maybe asking a question. Jungle, if you don't have anything, that's okay. But Bryant wants to know: has there ever been a piece you sold and regretted selling, like the Obi-Wan Elite?
The Obi-Wan Elite, bro. That I regret selling because I didn't know you would have wanted it, man. I regret it for Bryant because I would have held it for him and sold it to him or traded him or something. But yeah, I mean, I don't sell too often. Usually it's like if I get something, it's because I like really want it. And it's like, again, my space is limited at this point. Like, it's like, it needs to have some type of connection for me to be like, it's going in the collection room. Right. So I don't sell stuff too often, but what I do, I could say this, it's not Star Wars related, but I used to have a 69 Camaro and I kick myself in the ass every about it that I sold it. And I'm like, why did I sell that?
Camaro.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful Camaro.
Yeah.
Cool. My question I like to ask is kind of along the lines of Wrath's, but what if there's a message to Star Wars fans out there? Because you talked about there's a lot of infighting and stuff.
Yeah.
What is a message you'd want to convey to the Star Wars community?
Yeah. I mean, look, it's Star Wars, right? We all love Star Wars. Like, you don't have to love everything about Star Wars. Like, I think, like, I'm a perfect example, right? Of like, trust me, I was a prequel hater. I was not about the prequels back in the days, right? And again, I wasn't about the special editions. When the special editions came out, when the Blu-ray editions came out, I was like, this is trash. Wicket is blinking. How dare they make Wicket blink? Like things like that, right? And again, like with the prequels. But again, fast forward after watching, giving Clone Wars a chance, giving Rebels a chance, giving, like it opened up my eyes to like what I was missing in these other other movies or even the shows, right? There's a lot of hatred towards like the Acolyte and Book of Boba Fett and stuff like that, which I understand. Like, I get it. Like, we have high expectations for these shows, but at the same time, it's like, look, love what you love. If you are a prequel person, right? Like a prequel kid, you grew up on that. It doesn't matter what comes out because you'll always have your prequels to kind of come home to, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I kind of saw it. It was like, no matter what comes out, no matter what they do, I still have my original trilogy that it's like my home base and, that's it. So just like what you like and kind of let other people like what they like.
Yeah. I say I'm a prequel kid because I did grow up during the prequels, but actually my favorite movie is Empire, so I'll make that.
Yeah, there you go.
Jungle, go ahead.
No, I mean, I just agree. I completely agree. I think it's really cool too. I just wanted to touch on this, not really a question, but just something I wanted to point out that I appreciate about you, Gabe, is that like this thing that you said about your regret didn't have to do with you possessing something. It had to do with you wishing you had moved it to the person that wanted it.
Yeah.
And I think that like that theme is super important for us as collectors that we need to hang on to like for dear life.
Yeah. And I think to that sentiment, like Bryant has that as well.
Yeah.
When you talk to him, he's got that same sentiment. Like, he doesn't want to sell stuff just to sell stuff. He wants to sell stuff to people who he knows is going to keep it and display it. And
yeah, and that's what it's about, man. For me, that I think collecting, that's what it's about, because you hear of all these people that, like the flippers, and they buy stuff, they flip it, or they like the ones that like hoard everything, right? They go and they buy like everything, and then they don't leave anything for anyone else. It just kind of, it's a crappy thing to do, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, me and Bryant have talked about that plenty, right? That it's about, making other people like happy too, right? Like if someone truly wanted something from my collection, they're like, oh my God, I've been looking for that. And I didn't feel a strong connection to it anymore. Yeah, I'll trade it for him, or like maybe even give
Yeah.
it away, right? Like if I really didn't have a connection with it anymore. So
That's cool. That's cool. Tell people, Gabe, where, I mean, obviously most people know you, but tell us where they can find you.
yeah, on YouTube you can find me, still Star Wars replicas, and then on Instagram and TikTok I'm Gabe's Empire. I'm mostly active on Instagram, so that's kind of usually where I tend to go. But keep an eye out on YouTube, because I'm going to be doing this crazy review here probably this weekend, and this thing is
Ooh.
crazy. So, and this is actually their prototype, so that's even cooler. Like, it's not even, they haven't even started shipping these or anything. So
That's
keep
dope.
an eye out for that.
That's dope. Well, Gabe, stay on. We'll chat backstage here. Guys, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you guys commenting in the chat. Bryant, Hercules, Star Wars Sith, Lightning Slug, Limitless Nerd, Elijah, all you guys. Appreciate you guys. Love you
Brian.
guys. Woo. Legends. Um, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for watching. And remember, the Force will be with you always.